After experiencing civil unrest during May and June 2020, the Fredericksburg Police Department conducted an internal after-action review of our performance. Our review showed that we performed well in many aspects, while also showing there were areas needing improvement. This internal review also identified equipment deficiencies, so we made emergency purchases to correct those needs. With help from my command staff, I also took a hard look at our use of force policy and, in doing so, implemented progressive change to include a duty to intervene by all police department employees. In the spirit of progressive change, I also expanded my Citizens Advisory Panel from 6 members to 9. Greater diversity and community representation is essential for well-rounded dialogue, and we achieved that after I selected new CAP members. While performing our internal review, City Council was leaning forward and hired the Police Executive Research Forum, or PERF, to conduct an external review of the police department's response and use of force during May 31st through June 2nd, 2020. PERF completed their review and delivered their report in February of 2021. I was grateful to receive and review PERF's recommendations for improvement. As I reviewed the 66 recommendations, I observed common themes and was able to divide them all into 6 topics. I then combined overlapping topics and created 3 separate categories: use of force combined with professional standards, the incident command system combined with training, and the tactical field force combined with civil disturbance. In late February, I met with our region's chiefs and sheriffs, and all agreed that utilizing a regional approach in reviewing the recommendations was progressive and warranted. I am grateful all law enforcement leaders agreed to provide staff to serve on 3 review committees. Our community members deserved a voice in this review process as well, so 5 of my Citizens Advisory Panel members stepped up to serve in all 3 of these committees.
My name is Patrick, and I'm Support Services Division Commander. My committee was responsible for reviewing the PERF recommendations pertaining to use of force and professional standards. We formed a committee to review these proposed recommendations, which consisted of 3 Fredericksburg Police Department members, 1 University of Mary Washington lieutenant, 1 Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office captain, 1 Fredericksburg Sheriff's Office sergeant, and 2 members of the Citizens Advisory Panel. I would like to thank each of these individuals for taking time out of their schedules to assist us in this important review. In total, there were 23 PERF recommendations to review, 17 under use of force and 6 under professional standards. To date, there has been a recommendation to adopt 5 of the professional standards recommendations and 8 of the use of force recommendations. The rest of the recommendations are still under review by the committee, and we anticipate completing our review no later than mid-May 2021.
I am part of the Citizen Advisory Panel. Chief Layton asked if we would devote some time to be a part of these committees to help implement these recommendations. My experience has been a positive one. It's been very professional. I was a part of the Use of Force Committee and Professional Standards. Each committee member came with their own opinions if, we should implement it or we shouldn't implement it. When we went back to our committees and we were looking at them, I was very surprised and happy to know that the police department have already implemented several of these recommendations.
My name is Betsy Mason. I'm a captain with the police department assigned as the division commander in criminal investigations. As part of the PERF review, I was tasked with overseeing a committee to review 17 PERF recommendations related to 2 areas. These areas include the tactical field force team, which includes 7 recommendations, and civil disturbances, which includes 10 recommendations. My committee is led by a Fredericksburg Police Department lieutenant. He is assisted by 2 Fredericksburg Police Department sergeants, a Fredericksburg Police Department officer, a sergeant from Stafford County Sheriff's Office, 2 Citizens Advisory Panel members, and a UMW professor. Committee members were chosen based on being experts in the subject matter and civilians who could provide valuable insight and input to discussions. The committee has met on 2 occasions and has finalized 3 of the 17 recommendations. The other 14 are still under review and will be finalized at the upcoming meetings. We are grateful for the committee members' assistance to provide a thorough review of all recommendations. I look forward to positive and progressive change to make the Fredericksburg Police Department a better agency as we move into the future.
My committee is Tactical Field Force and Civil Disturbance. We're looking at manuals that the department has for how to handle civil disturbance and mass arrests. Some of the recommendations that PERF has made had already been put into place prior to disturbances last year. But now we're going over the manuals and we're adding in a lot of the PERF recommendations that apply to this department and making recommendations for how the department can do better in the future and move forward. I think it's going very well. There's been good participation, a lot of give and take between the sworn officers and the civilians.
My name is Mike Pursuto, and I am the Patrol Division Commander. My committee is responsible for reviewing the PERF recommendations pertaining to the Incident Command Systems, ICS, and training. We formed a committee to review these proposed recommendations, which consist of 3 lieutenants from the Fredericksburg Police Department, 1 sergeant from the Fredericksburg Police Department, the training manager from the Fredericksburg Police Department, 1 captain from the Fredericksburg Sheriff's Office, 1 lieutenant from the Stafford County Sheriff's Office, the division chief of the Fredericksburg Fire Department, and 1 member of the agency's Citizen Advisory Panel. I would like to thank each of these individuals for taking time out of their busy schedules to assist us in this important review. In total, there were 26 PERF recommendations to review, 19 under the Incident Command Systems and 7 under training. To date, there has been a recommendation to adopt 7 of the Incident Command System recommendations. The rest of the recommendations are still under review by the committee, and we anticipate completing our work by the end of May of 2021.
Chief Layton, time and time again, has expressed how he wants to be a progressive police department, leading in the nation, not just in our region or in our state. I do see that happening.
A lot of people might not realize what a very progressive department this is. They're proactive. They don't wait for things to happen. They try to foresee things and move forward. And this department wants to do better. The people here want to be the best that they can be.
As you've heard from my captains, our work to review the 66 PERF recommendations in committees with our regional law enforcement partners and CAP members is progressing quickly. Most of the recommendations have been referred for policy inclusion or adjustment, and we anticipate completing the review and assessment process within the next 45 to 60 days. I am grateful to all the committee members for their diligent and thoughtful review of the PERF recommendations. Their important work is making this agency and our regional mutual aid partners better prepared to handle future events of unrest. With our internal after-action review, the PERF report recommendations, our continued progressive training, and our regional partnerships, I am confident that our agency is better prepared to support our community's First Amendment right to free speech while also ensuring the safety of our residents, our business owners, employees, and visitors. Fredericksburg has a bright future. Let's move forward as a united community.